Louise from BeHealing.com, and welcome to The Answers, the show where I connect in with my spirit guides to answer your spiritual questions. And today we have a question from a Be Healing customer, and she says, where is the guidance and protection when you need it in emergency cases like in car accidents? Now this is really interesting because what you need to understand is that you create everything that you experience, okay? So there's no accidents. Everything happens on purpose. There's no accidents at all. And so you're probably thinking, well, why did I want to create an accident for myself? So what happens is, as you go through life, your higher self is always calling you to make the changes, the inner changes, to be aligned with that. And so your higher self has this higher view of you that knows that you're source and that you're a powerful creator and that you're perfect, and it tries to get you to align with that all the time. And how it does that is it gives you signs and lessons along the way. And so if you're having thoughts about yourself, or if you're doing things, or if you are believing things or acting in a certain way that isn't aligned with your higher self, then what you'll get is a lesson to show you that you're not aligned with your higher self. It's not a punishment, it's just an indication so that you can change, so that you can see clearly that it's not working for you, and so that you can make the changes necessary. And so what happens, these signs, they start off really small. And so it might start off just by you not feeling very good about certain feelings that you're having about yourself, or certain beliefs that you're having, or certain things that you're doing. You just don't feel good about it inside. That's the first kind of a sign that you'll get. And if you don't change those things, if you don't stop those thoughts, or stop those beliefs, or stop that action, then you'll start getting bigger signs. And so the results of what you're doing are getting bigger. The negative results of what you're doing are getting bigger, and so you get bigger signs. And so things might start happening around you. So you might have other people come to you and start maybe picking on you, or telling you that this isn't right. You might start having these experiences from outside of yourself, where it's being reflected back to you that what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're believing isn't right for you. And then as the signs get bigger and bigger, if you're ignoring them and still not making those changes, the signs get bigger. Then you might start finding that your body will start giving you communications about that too. And so you might develop illnesses, or you might fall over and hurt something, and something like that will happen. And this is your body trying to communicate that the thoughts, that the beliefs, that the actions that you're taking just aren't working for you, and that you need to change. The body kind of kicks in and says, look, you really need to do something about this now. And that's usually when people start to listen up. But if they don't, then the signs get bigger and bigger. And this is where the big diseases come in, to really get you to change, wake up and change what it is that you're doing. And this is where the accidents, these big accidents, come along. And so what you're asking for is, when does the guidance come along for it? Well, the guidance has been there all along. It's you not seeing the guidance and acting on the guidance that has caused the accident to happen. So there is nothing that would kick in and stop the accident from happening for you, because the universe has kicked in and wanting to give you this experience to really snap yourself out of it. And so if you've had an accident like this, then really look back at what was going on in your life at that time. I'll give you an example. I had a customer come to me quite a few years ago now, and it was an in-person session, and this guy came to see me, and he was a little bit late, and as he came in, he'd come out of a taxi and he was rushing into my office, and he was limping. And so when he sat down, I asked what's wrong, and he said, oh, I was just rushing to get here because I was a little late, and when I got out the taxi I went over on my ankle and I hurt it, and so I've just rushed in here now and it's hurting. And so I asked him, well, do you often hurt that ankle? And he said, yes, I keep on hurting this ankle. And I said, okay, this is where we start with this session then, because your body's trying to tell you something, and we need to get to the bottom of this, of what it's all about. And so that's how the session went on. And it actually turned out that he also broke his back at one point, and these all of these things you might think as being accidents, but they're not. They all had an emotional, they all had a belief, a thought pattern, actions going on within his life that weren't congruent with his higher self. And so this is what's so important about inner healing, is to, a psychic or a healer can help you to uncover what these messages are and what it's about. Because often when you're so far down the track that you've missed the signs about how you were feeling, and then you've missed the smaller signs of the people around you reflecting it back, and then you've missed the illness signs, and you've missed the disease signs, and you've missed the accident signs, that's when a psychic can help you and find out from your higher self exactly what it's trying to communicate, so that you can, and how to release it and how to move on from that. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for that question, it's really interesting, and I'll see you next time.